The snow's coming down, and so are the temperatures, and I think it's a perfect time to talk about what it takes to keep a central boiler Classic Edge running efficiently. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Tony, this is TC's Outdoors. I've been at this for 5 years now, and I've learned a couple of things along the way, and I'd like to share them with you guys, because if you're just starting out with a gasification burner like this one, there's some things you want to know. I wish, I would have known. First things first, when you walk out to load your boiler, what you want it to look like is this right here. There's hardly anything left but coals, just some red embers, a good coal bed, no leftover wood. You want a complete burn. You're not wanting to load that thing up with so much wood, stacking it to the ceiling so that when you come out in the morning, 12 hours later, you've still got a bunch of wood in there, because you've got to be able to stir the ashes up. If you don't get the coals and the ashes stirred up in the corners, you'll end up with a creosote problem that will manifest itself into a humongous problem. And trust me, if you haven't seen that video, I'll throw a link at the end. I just spent a couple $300 and 4 or 5 days straight of chiseling and chipping and trying to get the creosote buildup out of the boiler, and it's really not a lot of fun. The second thing I can tell you is that you're going to want dry seasoned wood. So this wood has been split for 1.5 years, and it's been undercover for the last 6 months or so. I get enough wood underneath my woodshed, 5 full cords. It'll get me about 1.5 years. I'm always burning the driest wood that I've got. Dry wood is key for a gasification stove. And small splits. You don't want giant firewood. What we're working with here is, 3 to 4 inch pieces. Some call it toothpicks. Did you hear that? That is the dry firewood that you're looking for. This morning I'm going to clean out the ash out of the bottom, and that's the third thing I want to talk about. General upkeep. You've got to keep it clean. I've burned 2 IBC totes of offcuts and whatever firewood's missing out of that stack. A half a face cord or so, something like that. That's enough. I need to clean out the ash. It's been about a month, so I will open up the bottom. So that is what 1 month of ash looks like burning in the central boiler. That's the ash we're looking for. Do you see how it's just nice, fine fly ash? So we got the bottom all cleaned. Now we come around to the back, take this access panel off, open the back door, and we just scoop out the back real quick, show you the heat exchangers, and then we'll be on our way. You're covered in snow. The weather is settling in today, we'll call it. You can see there's just a little bit of stuff built up on there, a little bit of soot. I will go grab a brush quick. This brush is just a chimney sweep brush or a dryer sweep brush. I got it off Amazon. I'll throw a link down below. Central Boiler does make a brush that they sell. I didn't know that until after I bought this one, but this one works fine. Just nylon bristles, nothing too abrasive, but it knocks everything off the heat exchangers like you're hoping. So if you're a central boiler owner, depending on the model year, this is a Classic Edge 350, and the heat exchangers run up inside here, and it's kind of hard to see right now. You got to make sure that that's clear all the way up through the heat exchangers, out through your chimney. That way you have good solid airflow, or you will not have good fire. And without good fire, you don't have a good burn. Without a good burn, you have a ton of creosote, and we're back to where I started. All clean, time to get the door closed, panel on, chimney cap on. And one last thing I want to show you. This is something you definitely don't want to overlook if you're a central boiler user. Inside here, oops, that comes off. There is screws that hold it on when you get it, but trust me, you'll never put them back in because you're going to take it off all the time. This is the fan and both dampers. Also, I should mention the power's been off this whole time. I did leave that out in the beginning. You turn the power off to the unit. You could throw the breaker if you want to. I just use the on-off switch, but you would not want a raging fire inside the firebox while you're trying to do this. It would not be good. Primary damper, secondary damper. I have had trouble in the past. I've got other videos, I'll link those at the end as well, where these lids would stick down. And if that happens, this is the fan. The fan doesn't blow in, you're out of luck. So every time I clean the ash out, sometimes even more frequently than that, I was checking these. Last year, I had to come out every 3 weeks and pull this damper off, and there would be a ton of creosote behind it. I will pull it off for the sake of this video, but I can tell you right now, as free as that is and it's not sticky, it's not even putting anything on my hands. We'll take a look. So back here, there is just a hose clamp that holds this damper on. Loosen it up a little bit and pull that off. And you can see inside there, there's not much. They do have a little glob in there. We'll pull that out of there. So we'll just reach in here. Trust me, you're going to have tools that are going to be covered in creosote if you own an outdoor wood boiler. And this is the only thing this pick ever gets used for. And we just lost that chunk wherever that went. So I have had this so full of creosote, literally been up to here. So half of the diameter of that tube, looks like it's probably 2.5 inches or something, was this whole cavity was full of creosote, liquid creosote, because it was like hot burning season. There's that chunk that I was trying to get out of there, flew out. This is phenomenal, considering the amount of creosote. It was every couple of weeks last year, and this lid would be completely stuck down. So I am really happy with all of the repairs. Everything seems to be working like it's supposed to. I don't know how critical this is, but I always use a level and get it pretty close to level. And I gotta imagine it matters, at least in my head it makes sense. So get it close and just snug up the hose clamp on the back. I've had a lot of suggestions on what I should use to keep those dampers lubricated, and what I've found works the best is this Super Lube. It's O-ring lubricant silicone, high temp, doesn't burst into flames, not that it gets super hot down there, but doesn't do any damage to any of the rubber, because those boots are rubber, so I was kind of worried about some of the solvent-based things. I've tried silicone spray, doesn't hold up as well. I've also tried fluid film. That works okay, but it doesn't hold up as well. It doesn't last as long as the silicone, the O-ring lubricant. That's grease. It's kind of tacky when you put it on, but it stays where it's supposed to stay. And honestly, I'm a month in and there's no creosote buildup on the lid, so I'd say that it's working pretty well for me. Turn the boiler back on. Those dampers should flutter up and down to make sure that they're clear before it tries running. And if it does that, we're going to open the door and load it up. Primary and secondary both did what they were supposed to do. Awesome. All right, let's get this thing buttoned up and we'll load her up wood for the day. That is enough wood to get me to 8:30, 9 o'clock p.m. tonight, which is probably about 10 hours from now. So now we'll just close the door. We're going to let this thing do its thing for a second and see where we're at. So 149 is a fire. I think we're going to have to help this along. It may get going. Oh, 149, yeah. It might start itself back up, but probably not. I might have taken too long. Just let the coal bed die out a little too much. So if you're enjoying this video so far, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It'd really help out the channel. Pretty good coal bed in there, so I think if I hit the ignition air button and just put the torch to it for a second, I should be good to go. Get that side going. Just open up the fire a little bit, or open up the wood. Stick the torch down in there and get those coals underneath. You can see those things lighting right back up. Won't take long. We'll be back in business. I think I got creosote on my hat, which sucks because I like this hat. Brunt Workwear, not sponsored, just like it. Close the door. We'll let that do its thing now and see how we end up. Okay, that happened fast. So in a matter of seconds, literally, we are at 479. That's the firebox temperature, obviously. That's not the water. The water's 172. We are just about to start to gasify. I don't think that's even a word. The gasification is about to begin. So once we get to 750, this will turn red, and that will be the secondary opening at 100%. and then the temperature should hopefully go over 1,000 degrees. I do struggle sometimes when I put a fresh wood load and I pull all the ash out of the bottom to get up over 1,000 or 1,100 degrees in the reaction chamber. That's the number that central boiler says that you should be burning over 1,000 degrees every burn cycle. It doesn't always happen. If you're a central boiler user and you have a classic edge gasification, let me know in the comments below if you struggle with a fresh wood load as well, or if it's just something I'm doing wrong. Well, we're at 729. We're almost there. Almost there. Stand by. Don't leave yet. But let's look at the gasification, where the magic happens. And that is what gasification looks like, folks. The hot gases are pushed down from the top, and more air and those hot coals keep everything lit. See that stuff flying out? We're going to close that. As Jack says, that's where the magic happens, and I think he's correct. There's plenty of magic going on in there right now. My next job is going to be get the snowblower fired up, oil changed, and hopefully get the driveway cleaned out before Mrs. TC's comes home, so she doesn't have to deal with the winter wonderland that we're in right now. So the boiler's about to kick off, and I think I'm going to wrap this video up for today, but I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you found some value in it. This is some information that is definitely boiler specific, and hopefully I can help some of you guys out there if you're getting into something like this at some point, or if you're thinking about it. If your state allows you to get a natural draft, you might want to think about it. There's a lot more maintenance involved in this than I ever thought there would be. I hope you liked it, and I hope to see you on the next one. So if you're interested in seeing the maintenance, you can check out this video right here. That's one I did over the summer, and down here it'll be all the trouble I had with the water. So either way, enjoy your day, take care, we'll see you.